It's time to prepare for the fourth industrial revolution. It's time to prepare and lean into your power and your instincts and sharpen them. It's time to prepare and how to harness your own power so that you can understand your instincts to prepare you for the next era in society. The upcoming age of smart technology and cyber physical networks and systems are going to shift how we do business in every industry across every category. It's also going to reduce labor efforts and offer us more time to explore new experiences and opportunities. And that's going to allow us to evolve even further into the human existence. And this is a dream that every previous generation has had before us, to streamline work and give ourselves more time to enjoy life. Yet we have more anxiety, we have more self-doubt and worry than we've ever had before. So we really need to prepare for what's going to come up. We're in a historical shift in perspective, and the drive to find our individual purpose is relatively new. Every other generation before us had to move into survival mode and kind of stay there until really the 21st century. And so prior to that, the purpose was really given to you and assumed for you. In the past, societies dedicated a huge amount of time to developing a connection with a higher intelligence. And it's only been within the last 75 years that we've broken away from certain types of dogma and expanded our mind in different ways. And learning about the universe, we've been able to dream of a more personal freedom. NASA was just created in 1957, which gave us images beyond Earth and throughout the galaxy that also gave us an even wider new perspective of reality. Social boundaries started to push and expand into the Civil Rights Act and the feminist movements, both happening in 1964. And it started around the same time as the Third Industrial Revolution was kicking into high gear. So where does this lead us? Into the next revolution in the industrial cycle that will take us to a place where we're modernizing our focus and developing skills and being more independent and sovereign. And to prepare to do this successfully, I believe we have to take small steps now and learn our interests to develop. So what do I mean by that? We really have to go within and do the work because we're going to face a lot of unknown territory coming forward that we're not prepared for. And when we evolve into those interests and we turn them into something more meaningful, it becomes even more personal, right? It helps us really understand our place in the world, and we're not going to get pushed over. We're going to get more grounded into why we're here. We need to have a place in this world. And if we start removing labor jobs and we start removing our ability to be in a workforce, you're going to want to still be able to solve a problem. You're still going to want to be feeling like you have some meaning. And this is where it needs to start developing now. The act of being and the act of sharing our worth and value to help those around us is really the reflection of who we are. And that's the benefit of a well-rounded and properly functioning society, that everybody has kind of a place to go. And it's when you don't have a place to go and you lose hope, that's where mental health becomes an issue. And we all have a role to play in society. We're all here for a reason. We all have skills, talents, gifts, abilities that we can all leverage and use. It's just a matter of finding it. And when we can actually start to play the game of life, we all win. So no matter what the moment looks like, it doesn't matter how old you are, it's just that you're here, and it's always a good time to evolve, especially as this is coming really, really fast. So I hope this inspires you to move forward and create something of value in your life and to dedicate that time to it. And I hope that you can see the benefits of applying creative thinking into your life that offers up some health and wellness and prospers all areas of life, not just doing some fun little art project. And so what we want to think about is, how can we sharpen our instincts and not dismiss them? And we want to study our own human behavior. And so we want to be able to understand how we operate and know the nature of ourselves, which is why being able to get into some of these more fun, playful activities and challenge us in easy ways helps us understand what it is we really like, what it is we don't like, and just take data on ourselves so that we have a better way to move through society. You will inevitably understand the general plight of life when others cross your path. Your compassion and wisdom are going to arise in situations that are going to make you an expert on yourself. This is where we gain wisdom. This is how you become sage. This is how you understand the nuances of human life, of human existence and experience, so that you can see it coming. And it's usually being able to assess it in yourself. You can see it reflected in someone else, so you know what's coming at you. When you can't discern or decipher, it's because you probably haven't done the work inside, I'm sorry to say. And so that self-knowledge that you start to build has deeper levels of understanding. And that's what's needed to maintain a stable mental health and have balanced emotional intelligence and balanced states. That fuel of this knowledge towards pioneering a new way of life is what true self-sovereignty is. And it's a way that we can offer our gifts, spending more time crafting and cultivating a society. Our minds are more open today with a wider range of ideas, beliefs, and lifestyles. We're even expanding our sensory receptors because we're able to hold a device in our hand, look and put our focus here, but still have a wider perception around us as we walk around. And that actually does give us new behavioral patterns. And there's this new mental revolution of how we perceive time and space. Because we can now see everything going on in the world all at once, it happens that there's this virtual real life experience going on, and we feel a lot more than we did before. We really do understand what's going on the other side of the world, even though it doesn't have any effect on us in this real life, and we're stitched in between the two. And it's how we think and use these digital products and payments and paying for things that we never really get to see in real life. And it's changing our mental model, and it's pushing the boundaries on how we define our purpose in life. Everything has a different feel to it. It's not so material anymore, and we tend to live a lot in our heads. There's a Greek philosopher, Aristotle, posed a notion that everything has a purpose, and for humans, that purpose is reaching the state of ultimate happiness. Whether you believe that happiness is the ultimate state or not, it's basically understanding that there's a pleasure of something for you, and it's the sake of doing that that makes you happy. That is the real state of happiness. That's what we really strive for, is we're doing things that we love, that brighten us up, that make us shine, and not what we don't. And it took many years for society to get to a place where we can start finding careers and finding a purpose in life and our work, where we can do things more enjoyable, no matter what that is. Someone loves doing something somewhere. And the third industrial revolution is that spark also to the spiritual movement and the creative movement for people to live in modern societies and embark on this new type of independence. And so it's now more accepted of an idea to push forth one's own purpose than it ever has before. And that also can lead to a mini mental crisis and an emotional crisis, because if you don't think you have found some sort of purpose, you're lost. That's not the case at all. You're just still figuring it out. You being here has purpose. You are a part of the fabric of society, and every time you help and you solve a problem, no matter how big or small, you are contributing. That has a purpose and meaning. So we're now able to carve out our own life and return to being more, not even returning, we're now able to carve out our own life and become a little bit more independent, not so much codependent, but interdependence with each other in society. And if we choose to follow what is meaningful to us, we're going to have an even greater capacity to enjoy what we've built for ourselves, because we've taken the time to actually formulate what's in our imagination, what's in our mind, and bring it into the material and into reality. And when we build something that we love, we've built something that is custom and unique to us, and we're going to feel fulfilled. We're going to bring different levels of happiness, satisfaction, peace of mind into our lives, into society, into our relationships. And it seems that we're headed into this new way of constructing society. What happens before you can construct a society is that we have to sort of deconstruct society And that's what's happening right now. And we're seeing this shift both happening simultaneously of things crumbling down and things building up. So this is a really pivotal and unique time preparing for this next revolution, this next evolution in society. And it's really important that you go in and you do the work. A new way of doing business, building expanded communities across the globe, and finding alternative ways to gather together so that we can connect better. We can connect in more ways. We can connect with more like-minded people and hopefully still be open enough to hear others' ideas. So sometimes it's a hard concept to wrap our heads around that we live in this era where there's so many things that are possible, and it's almost this analysis paralysis because there's almost too many options. But this is the future of what our ancestors had dreamt for, and now we're here. And so it's really important that we just focus in on what is it that makes sense and what is true for us. And we continue to learn the new skills and challenges that we can set ourselves up for so that we're sharpening our intuition, we're sharpening our instincts, and we're making this cyber physical world something that we can stand in. And there's a lot of rapid movement and consumption and an even greater call for self-development. There's going to be a time where people want to go and seek out gurus and seek out spiritual guides. And there's nothing wrong with getting support, but that support should be in reflection to what you have already found within yourself to help reinforce and confirm what you already know. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be outrageous to think that there will be humans at one point in history that are going to worship a robot because that robot has been fed every single spiritual book and can spout out a collective analysis of high spiritual thought over and over again without any issues and without having any ego because it's not programmed in them. And that could be just as dangerous as the reverse of that, the opposite of that, and both are very possible. So I think that this particular calling for us to go within and be the most human we could possibly be and sharpen our own instincts and skills so that we know who we are is vital to our existence. So let's go through 5 quick ways that you can start sharpening your instincts so that you know that you're able to start carving out your purpose. You already have purpose. You just have to materialize it into the world and bring it into existence. You just can't see it yet. It's inside of you that we want to bring out. Okay, number 1, learn what intrigues you. Be a consistent and constant learner and student. Let the mind continue to expand. Go and see what just puts all the bells and whistles inside of you that makes you excited. It doesn't matter what it is. You go and you see what it is, you see how much you like it, you learn, and you move on. Number 2, pursue hobbies that give you meaning. Don't make this a big deal of putting too much emphasis on meaning. It just has to resonate with you. It just has to feel good. You want to learn about how to make coffee. You want to learning anything, any sort of new little trick or trade, how to grow a garden, how to build something. Have fun with it. Have it unfold into maybe greater work down the road that you can leave behind, even if it's just for a small amount of people. But don't put the pressure on like the hobby has to do something down the road. You're just in really a child's mind, in the beginner's mind, and the student mind to figure out what makes you tick. What do you really like to do? And once you let yourself explore those things, you're going to be able to start seeing what really resonates and where you can solve problems. Tip number 3, share your knowledge. You're going on these little adventures, you're learning all of this new stuff, you're pursuing your hobbies. Let others know about it. Teach them, give them the hacks. You went through and figured out how to grow a vegetable garden. What are the 5 tips that you learned? How can you help someone else do it? How can you help someone else get a shortcut to get what you learned so they don't have to make any mistakes that you did? We all have something of value that we can share with each other. Step number 4, discern and declutter what no longer serves you. This will keep with a gardening metaphor, is pruning. When we start to get further into sharpening those instincts, doing what we love, we can also start to see what doesn't serve us, what no longer fits in our lives, and letting certain distractions go so that we can move forward and keep changing. And this is really important so that we're not carrying around a lot of baggage, a lot of mental noise, and we know how to keep moving forward and carving that path. Step 5, always build, make, construct, design, bake, craft, invent, shape, discover, and just really start creating. Get your hands in there and start doing stuff. And just start seeing what makes you you. Things that are ruminating around inside of you that you want to go do. If you need a permission slip, here's your permission slip to go do the thing, just to go start creating. Doesn't really matter what it is. No one ever has to see it. It's not for them anyway. It's about you moving through that experience, start to finish, and going on a little journey. The modern day pioneer is left with skills of heightened awareness and instincts through the digital world. And that is you, my friend. That is me, that is you, that is all of us, honing in on what is that new modern day pioneer to move us into this next era. And are you ready to step into this next era? And you do that by following your instincts so that you can embrace whatever comes forward and comes next in life. So let's prepare for this new upcoming revolution, evolution in society as we move forward. Let's all be here together to do the work and not make it sound like it's work. This is really a great opportunity for us to self-discover. No one's broken. This isn't a bad thing. We all have to go through experiences. It's just so that we have enough data and knowledge to understand who we are and what we're about. So we get put in situations that are uncomfortable, that are fearful, that are scary, that are challenging. We have all the faculties within us to move through them successfully. That is the whole point of all of this. That's the whole point of this video. That's the whole point of this channel, that we are here making ourselves sharp for what is coming. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you watching till the end. I wish you a lot of success moving through this. If you have any comments below on how you see yourself as a modern day pioneer, I'd love to hear. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.